had done.
Rufai, I was surprised when you said this is about Christians. They should have even said some things that I did that was positive, or I said that was positive. But let me tell you, I've consistently maintained that I would have removed the fuel subsidy. If you go to my manifesto, it's there. Steps I would have taken to do it in an organized manner. There was nothing wrong in removal of subsidy. What is wrong is the haphazard way in which it was announced and implemented. Everybody knows that the subsidy regime was a solution of criminality, that there was a lot of corruption surrounded with it, which needed to bundle that aspect out of it, do it in an organized manner. And since you're doing it for savings, we're told we're doing it because we don't want to continue to borrow to continue the subsidy, and the removal of it will be able to have available funds to be invested in critical area of development. We've done these things. Billions saved. Where is it? Where is it invested in those critical areas of development?
They said they've given the money to the governors. That's what.
No.
They said they've increased their FACA allocation.
We're fine.
They said most of the states have been able to pay their.
Everybody knows what critical areas of development is. And I say it morning, afternoon, night. It is education, health, and pulling people out of poverty. Rufai, is any of these three, has it improved? No.
The Minister of Health said they're getting new primary health care centers. As regards education, they said they have done NEL Fund, where they give student loan to people. As regards infrastructure, they talk about Postal Road and all that.
Let me just finish, Rufai. What I'm saying is, if you look at this, so you have removed this. People are paying more for fuel. It has escalated cost of everything, and we are not seeing where. The same thing with what you talk about, issue of Naira. There's nothing wrong with floating your currency. There's nothing wrong in even devaluing your currency. But you do this when you have productivity. What devaluation of floating does is that your currency becomes, in terms of value, low. You attract investment. Your products becomes unmarketable. But where we are unproductive, you have nothing to sell. So it's a double whammy. So in all this, I would have done the same thing in an organized manner. And when people say...
That was Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, in his most recent interview with Arise Television's Rufai Hussaini, where he spoke about the fuel subsidy removal and the devaluation of the Naira, or the flotation of the Naira, and talked about that he would have done it differently from what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done. You know that the whole interview is about 50 minutes or thereabout, and that video has become one of the most watched right now on social media, and because it has gotten rave reviews, positive, on Peter Obi, the presidency has to intervene to try to model the water, and they did it through the special advisor to the president on public policy communication. Daniel Boala, who issued a statement and was saying that now that Peter Obi has agreed with the administration on the flotation of the Naira and the removal of the fuel subsidy. Peter Obi ab initio had been among the leaders of Nigeria who knew that there is corruption in fuel subsidy and that it had to go. So it doesn't need any validation from the presidency. You know, it's amazing. And that is amazing in the sense that Nigerian people have short memory. So they can easily be deceived by propagandists in the Tinubu administration. Now they say Tinubu is a courageous leader. He removed the fuel subsidy, something that nobody has the courage to do. Really? Is he more courageous than Goodluck Jonathan that removed fuel subsidy in 2012 and Bola Ahmed Tinubu led his people to the streets to protest it? Many people, are they not aware that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was against fuel subsidy removal in 2012? Why did he do it at that time? Why did he protest against it and shut it down? He even wrote an op-ed published in the newspapers on why fuel subsidy cannot go. Today, they want us to celebrate that Tinubu removed fuel subsidy. He's a courageous leader. I beg. So you find out that these guys are just playing politics. And they are now saying that Peter Obi agreed with it. Peter Obi agreed that fuel subsidy must be removed. You're listening carefully to him there. Fuel subsidy has to be removed. But it's not going to be removed. It wasn't to be removed the way Tinubu did it, in an unorganized manner. In an unorganized manner. That's why nothing has been achieved from the fuel subsidy removal. Nothing. Except to put more money in the pockets of the politicians and the APC leaders. And the presidency, perhaps. Nothing. Ordinary Nigerians have not benefited anything from the removal of the fuel subsidy. All they benefited had been suffering, stagnation, suffering, poverty, disease, and death, killings. Because look at what Peter Obi said in that video, to show that he would have done it different from what Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So it's an insult on the intelligence of President Bola Ahmed on Peter Obi to say that he has agreed with Tinubu and that he wouldn't have done anything different. No. Peter Obi would have done things different. Peter Obi would not have gone and purchased brand new jets that Tinubu did. Peter Obi, if he must fly, he will use the one that Buhari was using. He can even decide to, looking at the state of the nation, Peter Obi will be flying commercial. That's a difference between leaders and leadership. So Peter Obi cannot be equated with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Peter Obi would have, under the state of the nation, would not have bought a private jet, would not have gone to buy new presidential jets. He will be managing the one that Buhari was using. If it die bad, Peter Obi will be flying commercial. All around the world, there are several presidents around the world, especially in the Western world, that fly commercial. So you have to know that there are leaders that are made for leadership. Now, and Peter Obi, he said, out of ignorance, Peter Obi, as he's pointed out, he put how he will remove the fuel subsidy in an organized manner. In an organized manner. But what was done by Tinubu was haphazard. He announced the fuel subsidy removal in his inaugural address. Then after announcing it, he now began to think about what to do about it. Is that leadership? Is that how other nations grow? Is that how other leaders run their country? After taking a decision, then you begin to asked for steps to take. So Peter Obi was very clear. So the presidency lied that Peter Obi has agreed with them. He didn't agree with them. That was not true. The presidency lied to say that Peter Obi agreed with them on fuel subsidy removal. Peter Obi only was, and he campaigned on it, that fuel subsidy will have to go because of the criminality involved in it. But this is a known issue. Jonathan said it in 2012 and removed the fuel subsidy. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu lead his people to gang up against it. Today they want us to celebrate him as the messiah of fuel subsidy removal. No, we can't call you a messiah of fuel subsidy removal. You are not a strong leader as they claim, a courageous leader. He removed fuel subsidy. Really? But the courageous leader was Goodluck Jonathan, who removed it in 2012. And you conspired against it and helped to shut it down because a lot of media was on your side and you shut it down. Now, Peter Obi pointed out something else. The fuel subsidy is supposed to bring out a lot of money, extra money, since the billions we normally budget for fuel subsidy payment is now available for the government to spend for the development of the country. And Peter Obi raised pertinent questions. Where are the billions of dollars from the fuel subsidy? Where is it now? And they say, oh, it is with the states have more money now. Very, very childish statement. The states have more money now. What does that mean? Okay, federal government has more money now. What does that mean? How does that impress on the people of Nigeria? How does that affect them? Because federal government now has more money. States now, they have more money. Unaccountable money. There is no accountability. Remember FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA that repairs roads. Do you know that FEMA emanated from the fuel subsidy removal under Jonathan? That was when that agency was created. So that the excess money that was generated from that, you know where it is for the repair of roads and all that. At least that was a targeted place to put the money. Everybody can testify to it. FEMA is still available up to today. When Sani Abacha, love him or hate him, remove fuel subsidy, what did he do? He created the PTF. Everybody was seeing where the money was going. PTF was doing a whole lot of things. Even though there are some sections of the country that felt cheated, but at least there was something that the money. So where is, Peter was literally asked, where is the money? Because the money was expected to be put into the critical sectors, in education, in health, in pulling people out of poverty. What have we seen under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? More people are into poverty than ever before. Never in the history of Nigeria are people so poor as they are today, as a result of the removal of the fuel subsidy and mismanagement and misuse of the excess savings from it. Because the ordinary Nigerian, if ordinary Nigerian can have access to it, why is poverty so hurting to majority of Nigerians today? Why is the health sector in shambles? Why is our education in a total mess? What is going on? Where is the money? Where is the excess resources? That money that would have gone into payment of fuel subsidy. So don't come and tell us, and Peter Obi said it, that Peter Obi would have removed the fuel subsidy. We don't have anything different from what is. No. You would have seen targeted and organized development in education, in health, in pulling Nigerians out of poverty. Whether you like it or not, Peter Obi had shown that he is somebody who believes in an organized process of doing things. Not for you to come and announce that you have removed fuel subsidy before going back home to think about it. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu removed the fuel subsidy, he doesn't have a cabinet. No, he hasn't formed any even advisors, nothing. He just announced it. Just to curry favor with the Western world, so that they will praising him, because the Western world already were suspicious of his emergence. You know, he has to do something to impress them that he's going to do all the things that is required to be done. So he announced it. But in reality, the removal of fuel subsidy has not benefited the Nigerian people. It had brought more suffering, more pains, more debt in the country. So if Peter Obi had been the one that removed the fuel subsidy, you would have seen where the money will go. That's what he was saying. And it will go to the critical sectors: education, health, pulling people out of poverty. Peter Obi had been an apostle of these three sets as being critical to the development of any nation. He cites how doing these three, prioritizing on these three sectors, has pulled hundreds of millions of people out of poverty in China and India. And he wanted to replicate it in Nigeria. So it's an insult on his intelligence to go and be talking about that Peter Obi has agreed with them. He would have been doing what they are doing. No, Peter Obi will not be doing what they are doing. And he clarified it in that interview. Because you have to situate things truly the way they are. Peter Obi is different. He would have done it differently. And Nigerians will be aware. And even his lifestyle will show it. As I said earlier on, Peter Obi will not have used federal government money to go and buy new jets, presidential jets. Peter Obi know that he is not going to the villa for comfort. If you are looking for comfort, the presidential villa is not supposed to be an avenue for you. They said that Tinubu is a billionaire, is rich and all that. Why does he need to come to the presidency to look for comfort? It doesn't work that way. So Peter Obi will not have spent billions of Nigerian money trying to create comfort for those around the presidency, buying new jets, new cars. He would have been using made in Nigeria car. That's for sure. He would have been living by example. Peter Obi will be visiting the hospital. In fact, when Peter Obi will be sick at the presidency, he will go to the hospital in Nigeria to encourage everybody to use made in Nigerian hospital. So this is like comparing light and darkness. For the presidency to compare what Peter Obi would have done with what they are doing. And then the issue of the floatation of the Naira. Peter Obi was very clear about it. That floatation of the Naira is a good idea. But he would not have done it the way they did it. He would have done it also in an organized manner. How do you float a currency when you are import dependent? That is committing economic suicide. Peter Obi know that floatation of the Naira is good. It makes your currency to be lower in value. And what is the benefit? It makes your export cheaper. It means there is more demand for your export. But what are you producing? Nothing. You only taking out crude oil. You don't even add value to it. Just take the crude oil. You are not productive. So if you are not productive, what is the benefit of the valuation of floatation of the Naira? Former President Muhammad Buhari, he floated the Naira. This floatation of the Naira is not rocket science. He floated the Naira under MFLA in 2016. Go and Google it. When they floated the Naira and found out that there is wahala, their fingers were burning, Buhari ran away from floatation of the Naira. And MFLA vowed despite the pressure by the World Bank and the IMF that he will never float the Naira again. He just floated the Naira for a few months. A few months. Go and Google it. MFLA floats the Naira. So this idea of flotation of the Naira is no rocket science. Buhari, that was there before Tinubu, floated it. It didn't last up to 6 months because he saw the danger. He ran away from it. But President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in without proper planning and anything. He floated the Naira and the Naira shot up. Nosedive to the level where it was 2,000 Naira to the dollar. That was how ridiculous the whole thing was. So Peter Obi would have floated the Naira, but he would not have done it in the haphazard manner they did. He would have increased productivity. Don't forget the mantra of Peter Obi in the last election, which I believe will continue to be his mantra in this election, to move Nigeria from consumption to production, consumption to production, consumption to production. What does that mean? It means that Peter Obi is already thinking ahead of the flotation of the Naira. But before he can float the Naira, he knows that the best thing and the first thing to do will be to increase productivity. Increase productivity. What is the low-hanging fruit in productivity in Nigeria today? It's agriculture. You see how Peter Obi used to talk about the North. Why is he talking about the North and agriculture? Because the North has the largest land mass in this country. And if they are put to productive agriculture, what it will turn out will be amazing. So if you increase productivity in agriculture in the North, where Nigeria has comparative advantage in agriculture, by the time agriculture grows in the North, and of course in other parts of the country, then you can begin to talk about the flotation of the Naira. Because now you have agricultural produce that you are now producing and adding value to them also, not just producing and selling it as raw material, adding value to it, the way China was doing, the way India was doing. And then you now know that you are in a place where you can then begin to talk about flotation of the Naira. Now you want the productive materials, things that are being produced in Nigeria. They are now producing a lot from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south, everywhere. Then you can talk about flotation. Now because you want to increase income coming into the country. What do? You now float the Naira. You now float the Naira so that the value of the Naira will be low to make exports from Nigeria attractive. Is that what is happening under Tinubu's flotation? No. So how can you say that Peter Obi agree with you? I think the presidency lied, and they should stop lying with the name of Peter Obi. I don't know what to think about Peter Obi's viral interview, where he spoke about the flotation of the Naira and the removal of the subsidy. Between Peter Obi and the presidency, who do you think is making more sense on what would have happened if Peter Obi was allowed by INEC to be the president sitting at Rock Villa? What do you think? Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel or have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.